today I am gonna be comparing and contrasting two comics with their art style and how their character. Today I am gonna be comparing and contrasting Supergirl and the Cyborg Revenge and Miss Marvel. This is the first issue for Miss Marvel. So what I'm gonna be comparing and contrasting is mostly the art style and the colors and the textures. I am also gonna be comparing the character, how the character reacts, what's their personality, how their superpowers, etc. So starting off with Miss Marvel, about her personality, we already know she's a very insecure hero that doesn't believe in herself and wants to change her image. So we can see a clear example of her insecurity when she escapes her house to go to a party she wasn't allowed, just so that people would see her as a more cooler person. This can tell us she is a person that cares a lot about how they look at her, but wants to fit in with the group. She was ashamed of her religion, so she wanted to go to the party to change that. You can also know she's a really empathetic and caring girl, because when her classmate was drunk and was thrown into the lake, she went as a superhero and helped her even though she was mean to her. Then we have Supergirl, which is a superhero that's more known for being this protective, understanding, fearless, confident, stubborn superhero that is always trying to help people. You can know she's an understanding superhero because when a beast is attacking her, she shows a lot of compassion but by just getting him while they're in the middle of a fight. And I think she says some important words, which are, "My father may have abandoned you, but I never will." And she shows she's being an understanding superhero by helping him deal with the problem he's having. Next, I want to talk about the Supergirl art style. Supergirl uses really dark colors to make the environment, I guess, more dramatic, so that it can get the reader's attention. I think I also have to mention that Supergirl makes a really realistic use of facial features. This means that you can really know what the character is gonna feel, do, explain, whatever it is concerned with the facial expressions. Supergirl does a really good job at making the eyes stand out, at making the nose stand out, at making the wrinkly mouth stand out. It really makes something stand out. The fact that Supergirl makes these little details is what gives the key to the book, I believe, because this is when you can know what the character is doing or thinking or planning or feeling. Everything is based on how the characters look at it. That's when you can know, like, oh, that is the good guy, that is the bad guy, thanks to its facial expressions and how the face is formed and everything. Next, I want to talk about the panels, how the comic is arranged, what type of panels the comic uses, etc. The style and panels of the layouts are diverse. You can sometimes have a splash panel to show close-ups, or you can just have small panels with small frames. All of this impact the story because it makes you see the details and timing of the action. Next, I'm gonna talk about Miss Marvel's art style. Miss Marvel's art style is really well known for using very dark colors, such as blue-green, blue-dark, every dark color you can imagine. It makes a way to make it dark. Talk about this particular scene where I feel like Miss Marvel uses the most green and dark colors, which is when she is at the lake and a girl from her school is being pushed I think this is when the most green and blue are presented. Makes the story more interesting and gives a special kind of effect to the story mood, which makes the story more interesting and dramatic by adding all of these colors. Marvel's facial features are really detailed when they are shown up close, but when they go far away, the faces can be seen as clear. Example is when Miss Marvel is hiding in the girls' locker room. We can clearly see how the coaches and the girls behind her don't have a lot of detail on their faces. This is to focus the reader's attention on what Miss Marvel is doing and not what secondary characters are doing. Sometimes the book uses this type of zoomed in and zoomed out faces so that we can really pay attention to what the author and the comic is trying to transmit, not what the secondary characters or the other characteristics are disturbing the primary things to be shown. This is an example of how the book uses foreground and helps the reader know what it's most importantly to be shown. Miss Marvel uses a lot of panels and pages. It mostly uses splash panel, splash space, and I want to talk about the gutter because the movement of the story is really fast. So the gutter is really small. It's about less than 1 centimeter, and it really helps the reader know at what speed the book or comic is going. Example, when Kamala, aka Miss Marvel, is having a fight with her mom and her parents about going to the party, we can really tell the scene is moving really quickly because of the amount of space between the margins and the frames and the panels. In conclusion, these two comics are about two very powerful women role that sometimes are comfortable with their powers and sometimes they just don't really like their powers. And yeah, that's